Hey everyone, my name is Mike Dietrich, and I'm a member of the BitBreakers development team. And we're going to kind of show you our website here. This is our profile. So you've already made an account and you've logged in, and you're going to come to this page. These are profile pictures that the user uploads, and they upload this through the back end. And what they do is when they take their picture and they actually push it up to our website, we convert that picture into a byte array, and that byte array then gets stored in an SQL Server database that we also built, which is hosted out on the Azure cloud services. So that's currently what we are demoing this from, is out on the cloud. So this is an active website at the time. And that's where all these pictures come. It's actually from a query string that is populated by one of the URLs, and it pulls the user's ID number and then the picture that's associated with that. So the images are actually stored in a separate table as a byte array so that they're not able to be accessed directly, which helps with security and various other things throughout the process. On here as well, you see a weather information thing, you see a Google Maps API, and you see a chat API. All three of these are application programming interfaces that were used to consume third-party applications and use them in our site. So for this, you can see it defaults to wherever the user has for their location, and you can actually look around and interact with things in your neighborhood that are of interest to you. The weather right here is also dynamically added. So what happens is when the user creates their profile, they put their city and their state in. And what happens is it goes out to something called Open Weather API, and it grabs the information. And then we built the actual template that to just show the information. And then down here on the right, we have an open chat room that works for anybody that's logged in. And this goes through something called Talk.js. And what Talk.js is essentially a chat service that works through an API in the backend using JavaScript and Ajax. And so we're able to do that dynamically through this.
Hi, my name is Madison Kleinstuber. I'm another member of the BitBakers team, and I will be talking about the technical aspects of the Simply Seniors events. So our events page has two different types of events for our users. We have internal events, which are essentially events that are created from our database, and we have external events, which are events that are gathered from an external API called Eventful API. Essentially, how the Eventful API works is it takes a URL like this one, which is really long, and it takes information on this page. And behind the scenes, it converts it into a big JSON string. It parses through that string, and we gather all of the information that we need, such as the title, the title of the event, the description of the event, such as what the event is about, the price, and basically all of the information that you might need about an event. It then returns the information you ask for to the view to display it on the page, just like this shows right here. So the default here is actually Yamhill because that's the place that I put that I reside in. So the default here is going to show Yamhill instead of Portland. So similarly, you can search through events in a similar way. You can search based on keyword and location, and the process is similar. So here we can put in Portland, like wine, so you can see, wine tasting or whatever you'd like that has to do with wine. The information for this is shown here, so it's the same way. It takes a big long JSON string, and you can ask exactly for, the keywords you want, like description, title, start date, end date, any information you choose to take out of that JSON string and display it here. Essentially, you take all of this information, which, keyword, location, and it returns all that information back to the view for you to see. It only actually displays the top 10 events just to avoid a really long page load. And, it'd take a long time probably to show all of that as well. Lastly, every time you search for some kind of event, the events that are previously shown get erased and replaced with new data. This is done using Ajax to remove the already created table and all of the HTML events, and it simply replaces it with a brand new table upon request.
Hello, my name is Willem Gillespie, also known as John, and I'm a member of the Simply Seniors project group. And I'm going to show you how posts and followers work on our website. So, firstly, when you create a post, as I've done here, it adds your name to a list in the database associated with your account to show your posts when you go into a page. Uh, and when you follow a user, it adds that user to that list so you can see their posts as well when you load the page. So if I refresh, and if I follow another user, it would add their post on this page of posts. Each post also has a comment functionality so that you can comment on a post, as I will do now. And it will show any new comments first. So newest comments are on the top and oldest ones are on the bottom. These comments are in a separate table that has a column to associate the comment with a specific post. So this comment will not be shown on any other post. It is directly associated with this post and only can show up on this post. Another functionality of post is our like functionality. If you press like and wait for it to load, it will increase the number, and if you click it again, it will decrease the amount. This uses another thing similar to the comments in that there's a list of who has liked this post. If you have not liked it before, it will add you to that list and increase the number. But if you have liked it before and you don't have it currently liked, then it will decrease the amount but keep you on that list so that if you like it again, you can keep liking it and disliking it over and over again. That is pretty much it for posts. It keeps track of the time. You can see the profile picture on the post, and hopefully you can see the rest of the site. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Denis Charaponov, and I will be discussing the site's registration features, the CAPTCHA features, and the news article feature. So right now we're on the default MVC 5 registration page. It's fairly basic. Nothing has really changed from it, the standard version. Other than we have included a CAPTCHA in order to prevent denial of service attacks. This CAPTCHA is an API call that it happens within the view. And when you checkmark this box and then move to the registration section of the website, it will make a request to, or the controller will make a request to the view asking if that box has been checkmarked. And if it hasn't, then it will prevent them from continuing on to the next portion, but since we did, now we're at profile creation. Now at profile creation, it will actually write to two of the databases, or two tables within the database, excuse me. It will write to the profile table and an actual photo table, and it will also write, in addition to that, we will write to a third table, a hobby table. Now, let's move on to news. News is populated through a API call that happens within a newsfeed action result within the user homepage controller. And after we make the request, we receive JSON and parse that JSON to receive things such as the publisher, the author, the name of the article, a brief description of the article, and the date it was published. So this is populated throughout the whole page and usually gives the most recent news articles within the last day or two. And in addition to that, we have a JavaScript search feature that allows us to look for specific elements of articles. So if we try looking for a author, let's try Fred. And here we see that two articles came up, a Bob Fredericks and a Fred Imbert, and this happens on KeyUp. It's a JavaScript element that will parse every news article and look for those specific elements depending on what the criteria is. Thank you for watching me demo this section of our website, and I hope you have a wonderful day.